So today we are going to talk about tiny Imagenet, and it is, as the name itself is saying, that it's a tiny version of the Imagenet dataset. So if you're interested in original Imagenet, then you can jump onto our dataset series, and there you can find the Imagenet video. So the all related information you can find over there. Now coming on to this particular focus, so if we say then tiny ImageNet is a specific tiny part of ImageNet, original ImageNet, but still it is having thousands of images and trying to have hundreds of classes with a specific number of images in each class. But the point is that when these particular different variations of datasets like tiny datasets come into picture, then is it possible to have that tiny ImageNet version itself? Then yes, there might be different tiny ImageNet versions. The only thing that how specifically you process or pre-process the tiny ImageNet. So suppose if you are interested in a particular category or a particular section of tiny ImageNet, then you can just drop the other components or the parts, and then you can specifically focus on to a particular part of tiny ImageNet. And then you can go for a specific work, whatever you want to do on this particular data set, like it's an image data set. So specifically, you can go for image clustering, image classification, the kind of object localization, or the federated learning, etc. So there are different sorts of things that you can do with tiny ImageNet also. So before delving into much, let's start the video and look onto that how specifically it is going to look like. So hey there, my name is Rohit Kumar, and today specifically we are trying to focus on tiny ImageNet, which is nothing but a miniature form of ImageNet classification. Challenge means ultimately the ImageNet class dataset is a part of ImageNet classification challenge. So here we are having the overview. So you can see that this micro ImageNet we have termed it in place of tiny ImageNet. So this particular challenge is similar to the classification challenge in the full ImageNet dataset. Now it is having around 200 classes for training, and each is having around 500 images. And the test set is having around 10,000 images. All are 64 by 64 colored ones. And as acknowledgement, they have given this particular link where this is a particular CS course at Stanford University. So if you're interested, you can jump onto and find the related information. Now coming on to the specific main part, that is dataset. So the dataset description is a very important part with respect to any dataset, and it informs you, it lets you know the kind of key components or the attributes of a particular dataset or the specific partitions of the dataset. So here you can see that the training testing, they have just bifurcated the original tiny ImageNet into two different parts, and then the sample.txt and the wnets.txt and the words.txt are there. So words.txt, it is the description of all IDs. Then WNets is the for the original full set of the ImageNet, and then sample, it is going to have the correct form of the submission file, and one line per image is in addition to the specific header line they have given over here. Then coming on to the testing part, so around unlabeled 10,000 image test images are there, and coming to the training part, so here you are going to have the training images inside this. Now, all these information is available on this particular platform, Kaggle.com, which is a popular website just to offer you the kind of data sets and the related information for ML or DL, specific research interest. Now, coming on to the specific size part, so this is, so it is 246 MB round, and you can download this particular data sets. Coming on to the specific other things like the discussions, etc., ledger board rules, etc. If you're interested, you can jump onto them. I'm not going into much details because the point is the video will go long. Just to conclude the video further, I would like to inform you that it is nothing else. It is kind of ImageNet only. The only thing that it is a specific little part of ImageNet, and that's why the name tiny ImageNet comes into picture. Now the point is that you may have a tiny ImageNet, means you may further go and have a particular bifurcation of tiny ImageNet, so that you could specifically have your own part. Now, when we are focusing tiny ImageNet, then there are so many things that you should also see from an academic research paper point of view, because how specifically a data set is being used in academic box, that is being of focus in today's time. Because ultimately, if you are taking a data set, that's not important. Ultimately, how specifically you are gonna use that to solve a particular problem in real world, that's the challenge. So you are supposed to go through some of the academic works, and I will highly recommend you to land on to some academic web portals like Google Scholar, ISM Digital Library, etc. And you will find lots of paper which are gonna offer you the specific focus with this particular data set. So there is an interesting work in recent time, that is Studio GAN, which is a kind of taxonomy and benchmark of generative adversarial networks for the image synthesis. It is a 2022 work and focuses on the specific benchmarking of GAN. Now the point is that there is a bit old work 2020, which is the contra GAN, where the contrastive learning for the conditional image generation is discussed. And usually we don't see the sort of different sorts of GAN focus much in some of the related domains. But coming on to, like I am talking so much about GAN, it is not like this that all the GAN related things are going to make use of this particular data set. You may use a particular data set in different ways, in different varieties. It only depends that how specifically your interest is suiting the need and the database is compatible to you. So all these things you just need to take into care, and then you are good to go. So point is that you can go for the image classification, clustering, etc., the conditional image generation, etc. These are some of the things. Additionally, suppose this particular dataset is not getting comfortable, or you are unable to download, or sort of some problem is coming. So the Cypher is a very good option for you. You may jump onto the database playlist of ours, and there you may have the information of Cypher 10 or Cypher 100. So these are some of the related specific key points with respect to a comparative point of view between the Cypher 10 and the Cypher 100 and this particular tiny set, tiny Imagenet. Now the point is that when we are concluding this particular topic, let me just tell you that don't only rely this particular video. Just go and have a look, read blogs, have a particular exploration of different other videos, and jump onto the specific core research websites and the dataset sites, because Kaggle is not the core site where the actual dataset information might not be there, because there is always a lot of information out there, at the original websites, like the contributors list, the kind of access information, the phone directories, the list of the kind of items. But just to curate the list or the database indexing, the sites like Kaggle, they just curate the things and they put only the specific key points in front of you. But many times from a research point of view, the key points are not sufficient. You need the extra information. And that extra information only comes from a dedicated research page or a dedicated research portal or the original database site. So you are highly advised to jump onto the original pages or the original websites of datasets. Then only you are supposed to get the full sort of information. So that's all from my side as a piece of research advice. If you didn't like anything, please do comment below and let us know what are the kind of shortcomings. We will definitely try to incorporate your suggested suggestions. Thanks for watching. Happy learning.